She may not look like it right now, but this right here is an absolute troublemaker. Aren't you, Sophie? Hey? You jerk. She's so cute, but she really likes to make lots and lots of noise. I think she does it to spite me. Yes. Hey guys, it's Justine here from I Should Read That, and welcome to my latest reading vlog. So I am sitting on the floor again, holding the camera up, and not necessarily looking or feeling my best because I actually was struck down by a migraine earlier today. When I woke up, it was bad. If you suffer from migraines, you probably have a good idea. But I ended up staying home today, which was not great, but you do what you gotta do. It's been a little bit of a slow day for reading because of that, but I thought that I would update you on what I'm reading anyway, just because. So first up, I have Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. This got mentioned a lot last week, even though I didn't make very much progress. So instead of talking about it again and again and again and again every single day, as I'm reading through it very slowly, what I'm gonna do instead is I'm only gonna bring it up if I make significant progress or if I finish it. I'm still loving it, but it gets kind of boring and repetitious to bring it up again and again and again and again and again. But I am very happy to say that last night I started The Bells by Dhonielle Clayton. I actually received this proof from the publisher and didn't realize that it was signed. So not only was I trying to be careful with it anyway, because it's a beautiful book, I'm usually not too precious about my books, but this is one that I wanted to be really careful with. And now that I know that it's signed, I'm terrified that I'm going to destroy this somehow. So The Bells is set in a sort of French-inspired world in which people are born very gray-skinned, red eyes, hair like rotten straw, she says a lot. And beauty is obviously very coveted in this world, and there are very, very few people who can control beauty. They're called the Bells. So our story is told in the first person by Camellia, who is one of the Bells, and it is sort of her initiation. They finally finished their training. There are 6 of them, and they're going to find out who is going to become the favorite of the royal court, where their placements are going to be, and they're basically going to enter society. The thing that I'm really liking about The Bells so far is I think that it would be really easy for some people who don't know much about it to dismiss it right away, saying that it's a very shallow book, but it's not at all. First of all, it's a very beautifully described book. The world building is really wonderful, the words that she uses are wonderful, but you immediately get the sense that something is not quite right, and I'm really, really loving it so far. I think I'm on like page 75, so I have a long way to go, but I'm really hoping I can power through this one this week. In other bookish news, it was announced today that V.E. Schwab is going to be doing a lecture on Tolkien here in Oxford, which is really exciting. Some of you may be laughing if you saw my most disappointing books of 2017, because Shades of Magic was on that list. Stop laughing. I like her a lot. I just didn't happen to like those particular books. So I'm really excited to see this. You guys know, I love Tolkien so much. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite book series ever of all time. And I'm so looking forward to this. It's going to be in May, and I have my tickets, but it's going to be a while before you hear about this. So if you are going to be going to this, definitely let me know. I would love to see you. So that's it for today. Now that I'm on the mend, I will be back at work, and that means that I'll be able to actually read a little bit more. Migraines for me tend to affect my vision. They tend to affect the way that my eyes focus, so I struggle to read. So not much has happened today, but I'm hoping to get a little bit done tonight, so I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I'm actually recording for 2 days in a row, which is a kind of a miracle. Funny enough, today wasn't actually a great day for reading. I'm still sort of coming down from having a migraine yesterday, and it really messes with my head. So I've just not been reading. I tried to read a little bit at lunch, but it just didn't really work. So hopefully tonight I'll be able to take out my contact lenses, get super cozy, and read more of The Bells. So I'm on page 78. I was on page 75 yesterday. So there's not been a huge amount of progress here. However, I'm hoping to at least get to 100 pages tonight. I was hoping to be much further by now, but my brain decided to get in the way. Because I am feeling like a steaming pile of human garbage today, I took pity upon myself and I went to the bookshop. I am a terrible person, but you know what? I haven't bought any books so far in the month of January. So I've been doing pretty well for myself. I haven't gone a 2-week stretch without buying something in a really long time, and that's kind of pathetic. I realize that. So just really quick to show you guys what I got. So Waterstones was having the buy one get one half price offer on The Extinction Trials by S.M. Wilson. So if you haven't heard about this book, it's a new release and it's been described as Jurassic Park meets The Hunger Games, which sounds awesome. The next book that I got in the buy one get one half price was The Truth and Lies of Ella Black by Emily Barr. So this sounds like a young adult thriller. I don't know much about it, but I love the cover. I've been hearing a lot about this and it's one that I've really wanted to pick up. So I'm really looking forward to this one. So the next book that I got is actually one that I've never heard of before, and the books that I've been reading lately and buying lately are ones that I've heard about everywhere, so this is a really nice surprise. I picked up The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and this is a book by a Japanese author in translation. So this is by Yasutaka Tsutsui, and this sounds really fascinating. I think there's an anime based on it. I'm not 100% sure because I used to be really into anime and now I'm not. I don't watch it anymore. But this does sound a little bit like the plot of Inuyasha, which is one that I loved when I was younger, and that makes me very excited. So basically this book is about a 15-year-old girl who discovers that she can kind of leap backwards and forwards in time, and it sounds amazing. It's really short. And I just saw it and I decided that I had to have it. So last but not least is actually the reason that I went to the bookshop in the first place, because if I'm feeling like a steaming pile of human garbage, then why not pick up Fire and Fury by Michael Wolff? So my dad is listening to this on audiobook, Scottish Fiance is listening to this on audiobook, and they both say that it is not sort of what they expected, which is what I had expected, which is kind of like scandalous tabloid kind of journalism. Apparently this is incredibly well written, and it's like, if it wasn't real, it would be real funny. But since this is our reality, it's deeply depressing. So as an American and as someone who, let's put it mildly, is not a fan of Donald Trump and did not vote for Donald Trump and is appalled that Donald Trump is in the White House, don't want to bring politics here, but that's how I feel. I have been really interested in this book, but I wasn't sure if I had wanted to pick it up. But since I have these two lovely people in my life who are reading it, and enjoying it is maybe the wrong word, but enjoying it, I really wanted to pick this one up for myself. And to be perfectly frank, anything that's gonna make him upset makes me happy. So that's it for today's reading vlog. As I said, I'm going to go take out my contact lenses, I'm gonna have some dinner, and I'm gonna get super cozy in bed, and I'm gonna read a little bit more of The Bells. So I should have more to tell you about that tomorrow. Hey guys, happy Friday. I haven't vlogged in a couple of days. It's been some serious ups and downs. I think first of all, just to get it out of the way, because some of you may be new to this channel for this exact reason, YouTube made some changes to its partnership program, making it much more difficult for small creators such as myself to monetize their channels. I was never monetized in the first place, but I was almost halfway to their original threshold, which was 10,000 views over the course of your channel's lifetime. I was so close. I hadn't quite made it to halfway yet. But now it's a much different issue. You're here, I'm sure you've heard about it, and you're probably sick of hearing people talk about it. But I just wanted to say, because I realize that some people may be new to my channel, thank you so much for being supportive. I gained almost 100 followers in 48 hours, and being a small creator, sometimes you can feel like you're very much doing this on your own. So I really appreciate all the support you guys have given. I just can't say thank you enough. So I have been so lucky to have gotten some amazing book posts this week, and I wanted to share it with you guys because these two books, as some of you may know, are so high on my list of anticipated reads for 2018, and I can't tell you how happy I was to get these in the mail. So I have a proof copy of The Bells that I have been reading, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but I actually received a review copy with a final cover on it. Look at it. Oh, it's so lovely. And I usually am not hugely fussed about the difference between proofs and ARCs and all of that, but I am really loving this book, and it's such a beautiful book, and I'm so happy to have to have these together. I'm actually going to be participating in the blog tour for the Bells as well, so if you don't follow me on my WordPress, on my actual written blog, I'll leave a link to that below and you guys will be able to follow me there. So next up, if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, I have already talked about this. But yesterday was a little bit of a roller coaster. I have some really good personal news that I'm not quite ready to share yet. No, I'm not pregnant. I had a couple of people asking me about this. It's not that, it's other things. I had that news, and then I had just some difficulties at work and stuff. So it was a little bit of an up and down day. I was feeling a little bit emotional. So when I came home and I saw this waiting on my doorstep, I teared up a little bit. That is Children of Blood and Bone, and this is by Tomi Adeyemi, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. So thank you so much to Macmillan for sending me this. You really made my day. So if you don't know about Children of Blood and Bone, it is African-based epic fantasy. It sounds amazing, and early reviews of this book have been incredible, and I am so looking forward to this, and I'm probably going to bump a few things off of my February TBR that I've been planning so that I can read this. This comes out in the UK in March. So tomorrow we are heading through to London because it is author sister's birthday, which will be really great. It'll be nice to go through and see her. This is the first birthday that she's had, that we've been together since I left the US, if that made any sense at all. Basically, she moved over in 2017, but I moved over in 2015, so we haven't celebrated her birthday together in a while, and I'm really looking forward to it. We're super close, and it's gonna be wonderful. So I'm currently 338 pages out of like 437 pages in the Bells, so I am almost done with this book, and things are really kicking into gear. I don't know if this is going to be a series or not, but I suspect it must be because I can't see her wrapping up everything in 100 pages. So this is going to be a really great read. I'm going to try to finish this tonight and then maybe move on to something else. Because I realized earlier today that I have committed to 5 blog tours in February, which is a little bit much, but I do have a lot of reading ahead of me, and so I'm going to try to finish this up tonight, and that should be really easy because it's going really fast. It's really amazing, and then I am going to pick something out of the pile for one of my blog tours. I have a lot of options. I'm hoping I'll be able to film at home tomorrow. Maybe I'll get one of the little doggies to cameo instead of one of the cats. But it should be a really good day. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll see you then. Hey guys, happy Sunday from me and Sophia, and Dax, who's currently on the floor nearby. So I didn't end up getting to film anything yesterday because it was a little bit of a crazy day. So as I'm pretty sure I said on Friday, I don't remember much of what I said on Friday, but as I'm pretty sure I said on Friday, it was actually my sister's birthday yesterday. So we went through to London and we actually had a really great day. We went to drinks and then we had dinner and then we went home and watched one of my and my sister's favorite movies of all time, 10 Things I Hate About You. It was actually Scottish Fiance's very first viewing of this movie as well, and what did you think?
Aye.
You heard it here first. So we ended up coming back home today, so I just didn't have any time to film or anything like that. I'm sure you'll forgive me. But I did come home to a package on my doorstep, and I keep forgetting that I'm doing these reading vlogs again, and I really should be opening them up here instead of tearing them open with delight as I walk in the door. But I ended up getting a copy of The Waking Lands by Cally Bates. So this is one that I hadn't heard of before, but I've heard her name and I've heard her books recommended before, especially for people who like the kinds of things that I like. So I don't know much about this one, but I had requested it on Bookbridger ages back, ages back. And if you don't know what Bookbridger is, it's a UK and Ireland site that will allow you to request physical copies of books. Kind of like NetGalley. It doesn't have as much stuff on it and it's a little bit less responsive, but the PR person for this book actually ended up reaching out to me and saying, hey, you requested the hardcover. Do you want the paperback? It's coming out soon. So I, of course, said yes. I think this one comes out on January 25th here in the UK. So I ended up finishing 2 books this week, and I'm really happy about that. I feel like I'm kind of getting my reading groove back a little bit. So the first book that I finished was Cosmos, A Personal Journey by Carl Sagan. This was the audiobook that was narrated by LeVar Burton. We've already been over just how much I love him, and I love that book. I ended up giving it 5 out of 5 stars, which is not a huge surprise. I would highly recommend it if you are someone who is interested in sort of science and physics and astronomy, but are like me and just don't get the concepts. It's an older book. I believe it was written, oh goodness, it was written in the 60s or the 80s. It was a while back. He refers to the Soviet Union still, because it was still in place at the time that he wrote that book. So it's a little bit older, but it's really well worth it, especially to see kind of where his very hopeful ideas of the future lie, and the future of space travel and the study of astronomy. And it's just a wonderful book, and I really loved it. So I also ended up finishing The Bells this week. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I was kind of hoping to give it 5 out of 5, but 4 out of 5 is not bad. I think the reason that I wanted to give it 5 out of 5 was because the world building is beautiful, the language and the writing that she uses is beautiful, and she has a really great way of kind of, even from the beginning, having this sort of underlying tone of unease. You know that something is not right, even though this world is so perfect seeming and so beautiful. I did feel like it got a little bit off track in some places. I feel like it could have been tightened up a little bit, and I also have some questions that are unanswered. I don't want to say exactly what my best example of these questions are, but they're things that have nothing to do with the plot, they have nothing to do with the characters. It's more about the world, and I don't think that these questions are going to get answered. I am someone who loves fantasy, and I love particularly complex and very well-built worlds where you have an answer to every single question, every single thing that happens, and I didn't feel like we got this in this book. So it got 4 out of 5 stars from me. I really enjoyed it, and I do recommend it. It's out on the 8th of February here in the UK. So the book that I decided to pick up is actually a proof that I've had for a really long time. I've had it, I think, since November maybe, and that is The Toymakers by Robert Dinsdale. So let's talk about this really quickly. Check this out. Whoop. And this is a proof copy. This is how you know that they're really invested in a book. And look at this. You know how I feel about sprayed edges. My sister was laughing at me for admiring this yesterday. But this looks like a wonderful book. I don't know much about it. It's funny because it's coming out in February, but it's a very Christmassy feeling book. So I suspect that maybe it was a little bit late coming in or something like that. But regardless, it is still winter time. It was snowing earlier today, so I feel like the atmosphere is gonna be perfect for this. I'm like 25 pages in, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I know so little about it because the back of this book is basically just a job advert for the kind of emporium that is going to be the central part of this story. I don't know much about it, but it looks amazing, and it's very magical so far. The introduction, even, sort of the very first glimpse that you get at this book, is really sort of magically and whimsically written, and I am really thinking that this is going to be a good one. This week is going to be another sort of busy one. I've got work straight through until Friday, and then on Friday I'm going to be leaving work straight away, going through to London, and I'm going to meet my sister at Alwyn Hamilton's Hero at the Fall book launch at Waterstones Piccadilly, which is going to be really good. I'm really excited for it. Rebel of the Sands, which is the first book in this trilogy, is the book that got me reading young adult fantasy. So then on Tuesday of next week, we're actually going to be going through to Edinburgh for a week, which is going to be really lovely. We lived together in Edinburgh when I first moved over from the US, and he is born and raised from there. And so it's going to be really nice to sort of get back to this place that we love so much. So it's going to be a really busy couple of weeks here. We've got some other stuff going on, got lots of work stuff, and it's just, I'm gonna be really tired. So I'm gonna do my best to keep up with these reading vlogs. Instead of doing a reading vlog for not next week but the following week, I'll probably do a Scotland vlog, which will be really fun. Until then, if you like these reading vlogs, I'm gonna do these as much as I possibly can. They do take a little bit of effort, and things are gonna get really busy here in the next couple of weeks, but I'll do my best to keep them up. I post at least once a week regardless, so definitely subscribe if you like these videos, and I will see you next time.